session to order. Let's do a roll call.
James Hamilton.
Here.
Wayne Bryant.
Here.
Ron Sharon.
Here.
Greg Murray.
Here.
Justin Torrey.
Here.
Rock Ellis.
Here.
All right, has everybody got the minutes from the April 3rd meeting? If you'd like to approve those minutes, we'd like a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve them as written.
I'll
Motion to
second.
approve. We have a second by Justin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. All right, motion carries. Let's get started. Public hearing on rezoning of lots 0002 and 0003 of the Bullington addition from R1 to C2 by extension. So let's do with the public here. If anybody'd like to come up and speak, just come up, state your name, and
Someone besides the owner of the property?
yeah, this is for the public. Could be the owner, could be general public.
I'm the owner, I guess I'll say something.
Okay? You'll just go ahead and come to the podium, state your name, and
My name is Dennis Spinoto. I own the properties that are up for rezoning, and I also own the acreage immediately to the east of that, which is the bigger lot. The bigger lot fronts
Is
on
that to the west of the laundromat?
west of the laundromat. It's right next to where they're building the coffee shop now,
Yes, sir. Okay.
immediately west of
I
that.
know where you're talking about now.
And so that's the main property. It's already zoned C2 is my understanding. Immediately to the west of that property on Fort Street and 6th Street is a property I bought most recently from the estate. It has a little house. It's there on the corner. And then the other lot I bought some time ago. It's next to my neighbor here. Had a house on it that was totally dilapidated, and so I just tore it down. Now it's an empty lot. There's no immediately plans for what should go there, although at one time the previous owner had an offer from a restaurant and he turned it down. He didn't think the offer was enough. Anyway, he hadn't had another offer since then. But so his goal was to put that corner together, the big lot plus the corner where Fort and 6th Street is, plus this lot that I tore the house down on. And so he got in a situation where he wanted to sell, and I was in a situation where I could buy it, and I thought he gave me a decent enough deal that I went ahead and bought all three. And now I'm trying to put all three of those together as C2, and with an effort of selling the whole thing as a commercial lot. Somebody could put a convenience store there, or, I don't know, fast food, something. I don't know what anybody would want to put there because I don't develop property like that. I just ended up buying it and owning it. I think it's more valuable as commercial instead of residential, and so clearly that's my motive to ask that those other two properties be rezoned. The one on the corner of 4th and 6th fronts on Fort Street. I don't understand exactly why it's not already commercial.
Isn't it already commercial?
It is for all. What happened is when they passed the original ordinance in 2000 and they updated everything that was within 200 feet of the center line of 22 Highway, 4th Street, was zoned as commercial except for a few odds and ends that were there, houses, and there's a couple of them up the way. The other thing was, and you'll find it in the zoning ordinance, it said that you weren't to break up or split any lots.
Right.
Okay? And so the map was drawn by someone before I inherited it, or we inherited it out here. So really, the first 200 feet from the center line is the commercial. Then, if that's a lot that extends beyond that, then that zoning went beyond that, and the maps that have been redone, and they're here for everybody to look at, show this sawtooth pattern of even lots, okay?
I wonder if I could take a look at that to get
Sure.
oriented to it.
This is where, if you look, this piece right here, or all of these pieces that were sawtoothed in and going up and down, this is a 200-foot line there. This is 22 Highway right here.
That 200 foot's about the hedge line, isn't it? Somewhere.
Yeah. This is 6th right here, going up 6th Street right here. And these are the R1s that went on up Sixth, and this is the R2s back behind. And this is the C2s right here. This is C2 of Florida. And what they did is they didn't adhere to what it said in the deal. Right here, the 200-foot line split this lot. And what we should have had, and that's why John just said this was considered C2 for this first lot. Now, you actually own 1 and 2 and 3, right?
Yes.
1, 2.
Which is the property on the corner of Sixth Street.
Okay, this is the corner on Sixth. Here's that little triangle right there, and there was the garden right there.
Yeah, I own the corner too. It came
Yeah,
with the-
yeah, that's that sawtooth that's in the package right there.
Okay, so I think this is the other piece that I own.
That's the other piece right there.
And so,
This, from here on, back here, this was at R2 right there.
Yeah, come on up and,
Yeah, y'all wanna see this, 'cause you
anybody else like to come up and
because
look at
this
it?
is,
Yes,
and
he
what
wants-
it says, and it's plain, what they should have done and they did not do, is they should have snapped it right there. So 2 and 3, and this is, and you're in 4 right here. Okay, 4 and 3 and 2. And the 1 is this piece, they actually merged 2 lots together on that for the little white house that was on the corner. And what should have been done is this remark right here, this would be the 200-foot zone right across there. And that's what it was always considered as commercial. The other thing is,
All this is, yeah.
is in this 3, there is a community hazard storm cellar, which needs, whatever we do with, or whatever you wanna do with it, needs to be level before somebody gets trapped in there or a kid.
There's actually 2 on those properties.
2 of 'em?
There's one on lot 3 and there's one on lot 2. The one on lot 2 is up in the mountain and the one on lot 3 is right there. The old man built it right on that fence. And it's right on the highway. I mean, right on 6th
Yeah.
Street.
Now, the other thing is, there is a piece of, there is an orphan triangle down here beside yours. He's the orphan triangle. It's a 30, basically it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And the other attractive thing is, there's a well on the outside of it.
It's old man Pinkerton's well.
which-
I've lived there 62
So she-
years.
she
where
can
I
tell you
lived,
that
so I
story.
can tell you, it wasn't even, 6th Street ended at H when I went there in 1961. I've been in that house. Well, I've got the original plats. I thought I didn't need to bring them in, but I've got the original Bullington
My
plats.
father owned West Dark
Yes, sir.
outdoor advertising.
This, you know, yeah.
And I got a bunch of those little piece of property if I can find them. The only one I won't sell you is on the corner of Walmart's headquarters up in Bentonville. Bill Morton's grandfather.
Well, you know, and Jean's property that she, I mean, the house where you bought, Jean Taylor's property is, I have no problem with lots 1 and 2. 3 is a problem for me, and you got that power line going through there too, and you've got easement for that power line that goes
so
through
let me
there.
say that what I'd like to do then is, I'd like to get the rest of this large lot zone in the corner off from the estate and withdraw the petition to change the zoning on that next to.
On 3.
On 3, yeah.
And I'm willing to sell that little piece right there to you too. I think your whole piece is full.
You know, I've been.
That's maybe why you're not.
This is a,
I got 6 acres.
I just don't want nobody in my roof, you know, if that line is
I
gonna be
know.
right there on my house. That old man built that cellar, it actually went a little bit over on my property, because he's gonna save my babies when they live. The old man that owned the house originally. And now it's sitting there, it's an old storm cellar with no lid on it, it fills up with water, you know what, you've seen it.
Yeah, okay, it's
Yeah,
in there.
you know what I'm saying, I mean, it's there, and that's one of these things. But anyway, if we do that on 3, then I'm gonna, I brought all my notes, and I'm not wanting a witch. I just want, I don't want somebody with, you know, to put commercial right there in my window. The way, like I told you, been here a long time. There was was nothing
I
there,
know
no,
it.
no,
I
when
know
this,
it. Are you-
our house, from all the way there to the lake, was nothing. It was just woods. So Bob Butler built a house and on and on.
So what's gonna happen,
Built
Steve?
chateau and all
Look
this
the
stuff.
same or what?
So all them houses, mine was first, then the red house you had to tear down.
That's what I'm saying, I mean,
Taylor's house was there.
If it leaves it all the same.
Bullington and
They've got a diagram.
Elmer McMahon.
Houses on this lot.
Yeah.
Put the houses
There's a little
on
triangle.
there, but they set the
They'd
houses
have to acquire that.
on the south property
It
line.
would, it would enlarge
That
this.
So-
triangle was already C2.
Well,
And,
You know, we may be able to, we may have this thing worked out.
we could work it out if we wants to, I mean, I'm.
Right.
Yeah, I think that if the person who buys it thinks, well, I wanna use that for egress, then they can ask again. But if they have the frontage all the way along there, deep enough through the Taylor's property and to the back of the.
It runs to that hedge, you know where the hedge is there?
I
That-
would want to-
Yeah.
And so then that's sufficient to entice a potential buyer, which is what I'm looking to, is to show a buyer that it's C2.
But you get right.
Well,
You gotta get right.
you've got the people you need to talk to right here. You've got a guy ready to sell you a triangle of 30, 40, 50 to end, open up, because it'll open up, when you open this piece up right here, what happens is you can get off and get in
Orphan, I think, I don't know who
better.
bought that thing.
Quite a big tree there and block
Over 3 foot by 4 foot.
It's not a very big triangle.
Well, you know, I mean, the critic's bad.
No, I put a big billboard back over there.
I know that that's a residential, and I know it's gonna be hard to,
I told you I'm flying, John.
on that bridge.
Well, I know you're gonna do it.
And you still got that power line going through there, and there's gonna have to be
I'm
easement on
aware,
that.
I'm aware of all that, and so the.
I know you are, but I'm just saying.
What I'm interested in is getting as much zone C2, so that the realtor who's marketing the place for me
Oh, you're up there.
can
Price just went up.
explain the circumstances, and there may be enough C2 zoning to entice a potential buyer. And it's all on Fort Street, it's not.
Okay.
Now, you're, next to you, I think it's like a residential.
Yeah, I don't think, but I mean, you know, it comes out on
And
six.
she's lot 4.
Lot
She's
four.
4, and this is 4 right here.
And three's
Three-
who is who. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
3's the buffer, right?
Three's your,
Okay.
three's the
But-
buffer
but
between that. yeah.
1 and 2 are already merged, and they're basically within the 200-foot
Right.
zone.
Okay.
So he's got a
And
pretty
same,
big place.
same way with here.
Yeah,
I think
it's
all-
with,
It may not reflect on the map somehow, but I think all this, all that I own on this property on this C2 as well, already, is my understanding.
Okay.
I think it is up to, see where this line is right here? That's the C2 line right there.
And what I.
You wanna sell it commercial, I
Well,
understand that,
I
yeah.
wanna sell it also, I don't have the back end isolated, I can buy it all and leave it the way it is. So, but I own all the way back, and why have half the lot zoned one way and half the lot zoned the other?
well, it's not, but that's the way they make it though.
Yeah, with that, that's my son company.
But what do you, Dennis, do you want to have it to come back and have 1, 2, and 3 and zone them all R2
No,
or C2?
I would say that 3 doesn't need to be rezoned R2.
Okay.
I want the corner lot that I bought from Taylor's, and all of this that I bought from Breen's company, I think it's called Jetta, yeah, all of that is on C2.
Is that the old?
That can be done, can it? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. You know where that old Bullington Road
Yeah,
was that went up
yeah,
there? That's
the old Joe and-
He's
where the
just-
house was, where the whole house burned right there.
Yes, and those-
Well, then
it's
that
already
would
commercial.
be,
He wants
we'd have to
these are
amend
residential, he wants them to.
west, but this,
And this one he's gonna,
That'll make that lot that.
this is what you'd have right like that.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to C2 here.
You already own, this is already C2, you'd be extending that one, but that,
What is that called? That's in Burlington Edition,
I bet it is.
This is a meets and bounds description,
Okay.
as is this little triangle on the left.
Yeah,
Those are still meets and bounds.
okay, well, if we do that, that's up to the panel if they understand the discussion and everybody hears.
Well, they can't see what.
Well, I know, but we got, we got heads nodding, so
We're making headway. That's progress right there.
Because what this will do then, you're against the park right here, it doesn't matter, this is a commercial zone, and this is commercial down here. This is the buffer, and there is the maintenance house right there.
And so this property it's actually on the far side of the power line that cuts it.
Yeah.
It's hard to develop anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you look at it, it runs right up that hill there, and you got, I don't know what the easement is, it 50 feet on each side,
50
something or
50
other on
50
each
foot,
side.
25 foot either side.
So the, you know.
Yeah, so you gotta be
if I-
very,
if I
if
get
you
this-
about that, I got one of them too, and I didn't
Here's
agree
what we
with
could
it.
give it to, from the United States, here in Barling, in 1824.
So I don't know how to amend my petition. I didn't have good facts when I was writing the petition. Now I do. And so what I'd like to do is rezone the back end of this meets and bounds description.
Okay, we need that, we don't have that, I know.
It's in the deed, I think it's.
R1,
Taylor property.
yeah, the Taylor, the old R1, R2.
Yeah,
Okay, and that the triangle,
little triangle on the corner.
the triangle on the corner, and if you wanna do,
Triangle, you coming back?
It's already zoned.
I think his is too.
Yeah, so I may buy that from him or not.
He's got his stuff, that's what I was asking, he brought the old plats and all that from way back in the day, 1884.
We're money ahead then. This is stuff we didn't have.
All right.
You wanna see, I've got that crap from back in the day too, I told
Well,
you.
look for and see if I have the deeds in my file here where I bought the property from Greens County.
It's sold tonight.
Huh?
So I think they'll get it sold
Okay.
tonight.
Okay.
So, in this,
Only 3 years.
In this picture, basically,
23 years.
that 002 is what they're wanting to,
1 and 2, yeah. 3 is gonna stay.
Not.
3 is gonna stay R2.
R2.
Okay.
So do you want to,
And
do you
so-
want to state your pros and cons for or against it, or
Up here, that's what I highlighted.
lot 3 you're against?
1, 2, and
Rezone to C2.
leave that alone.
That way it's not against that, because that way it's not against your window. How close is the property line to your window? 6 feet? Okay. About there? Okay.
If it got
Right
any
there.
closer, you could reach out.
Well, what they did, I mean, the old
This lady there lives right here in this corner.
right here.
Yeah, she don't
Okay.
want
They
that.
set those houses right up on those property lines and said, the other property lines, and put
Okay.
right on the road.
Her lot, 4 or 5 years, and the other one.
Okay.
Yes, I am
The
objecting.
guy I bought it from.
3. But you're cool with 2?
I'm very good with, I don't care what they do with two.
Okay.
We know it's not big enough to put a casino.
And I could be there without having to drive off. You thought I didn't go, you wrong.
Wayne, did you get all that?
I got it. I got every minute of it.
So what
So
we gonna do, just leave it the same way it is, or what?
lot 3 next to you stays as it is. The others might get changed.
So we're okay with 3 remaining as the R1, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have the deed here that I bought the large property from Jetta. I can make a
But
copy
we'll
and I'll
have
give you
to
the
do-
legal
Okay,
description of it.
all right.
Well, we have to redo
He's
for
got
that one.
We'll have to redo that one, but he'll get the amendment to
Okay.
it for it, and he's got a
Okay.
copy of the deed. And that way, if everybody,
We just made.
Everybody understand kind of what we're doing, so it's basically 3's off the table, so this is basically for 2. Is there any other public comment or anything at this time that'd like to come up and speak pros, cons?
No, they cleared me, so I'm out.
You're
but we,
Would it be helpful to you to have a copy of the deed that I bought the corner from the Taylors?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have it here too.
And we'll have, if we have that, everybody will have the paperwork. Kim will have the paperwork put together, and when we put together this package, we had to put together what we knew or didn't have, and it's pretty hard. But we'll get that together, and everybody, when you hear this, you can see the photo sketches that's in the packet as well.
You go get those over there, 'cause I have the old originals. I've got the old original plats and all that, if you need to see them, I'll go thank them.
If you can bring tomorrow, be fine. Yeah, we'll get it together. Then,
I've just learned that you guys already have copies of these deeds in your files here.
Okay, and Michael has got the copy of the triangle, and that's his issue with Dennis is between them. We're not in the real estate business. We just try to
Yeah.
advance the cause.
Well, good. I'm
There's
happy.
Nobody
all.
else. If there's nobody else, then we'll continue on with
Is my property commercial or residential? I just need to know whether.
Commercial.
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 I'm building an office there.
Put you a hot dog stand down there.
Now, that's gonna be about 5 stories tall, right?
What are the setbacks on
Yeah.
that lot?
Spiral
What are the
staircase.
setbacks on his lot?
That's why there's nothing over there.
Well, it's because they're taking all up from the street. I got no setback. That's like Fayetteville, I got a piece of property up there, they said, if that building comes down, you can't rebuild it because there's not enough setback. I said, "Good call, baby."
There's 40,
Did you
it's
know?
40 foot off the front, off the highway.
Did you know the state gave back
I'll make an offer
71
15.
million to the city?
You think about
You know,
15 on-
College Avenue, it's all the way out. Now, from the top of that hill, all the way to the mall, they want to take the middle 2 lanes out,
Well, you think of it.
Put an island.
and plant trees on it.
No, no way.
Imagine the traffic jam?
Oh, yeah.
I just, yeah. Okay, this, if y'all get together, does everybody agree on the voting about what we're gonna do here? Anybody lost?
Yeah,
Sir.
we'll bring it up the next meeting for the vote and everything, since this is just the hearing part.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you folks coming.
At least we had no trouble with nothing.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so that was an interesting hearing.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
that's how you get some business done, right there.
wild out here. They do a lot of funny things.
Let everybody work it out, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the way to do
No
it.
hair pulling or nothing?
Yeah. All right, let's get down to old business, review of I can't speak today. Preliminary plans for Ashton Place cottages.
Okay, you'll see in the packet, there's about a 12-page or beyond. And what this is, if you look about 3 pages in to the Ashton Place cottages, you'll see temporary cul-de-sacs laid here. And the drawing is, it's 4 of 10, okay? And what this is when they extend in, they're gonna try this concept, and it's much like Methodist Village is probably the closest in my mind that I can say. And what this is you're looking at an access for a concept to see how it'll do. These folks own all the way over to 13th Street. If you didn't know, Strozier Lane is the equivalent of 17th Street. So there's 4 blocks back there, and what they've done is they've done about a block and a half in based on the concept, and they're only gonna be on the south side of the entry driveway going into Ashton Place. That's the phantom drawings you see, or the dashes you see to the north side. I wanted all of you to have a good look at this. They are working on the design. It is down at, the water and sewer is down at Little Rock. Water and sewer and drainage. These folks are very methodical. This first came up about, Ron, what was it, 2 years ago they asked about this?
Yeah, at least that long, yeah.
And they waited, and so you can see the comments about the water and sewer plans going in for review. We've taken a look, we've got the water and the sewer and the drainage, we've looked at it. The sewer main is to the south. Water is out in front, going down their side of Strozier Lane that you'll be able to tie to. So there's not a utility extension for us, it's on the contractor. Tommy will have input when you look at how the cottages are laid out and the spacing and the building materials. And it's most important when you look at what we're doing now is that the building materials are fire resistant. And I went to a meeting today at Chaffee, And that's one of the big things that, you're trying to do, not only if you don't have spacing, get fire-resistant materials, and then you can work them out. And this is probably, you're getting a look at something, for some of you, the earliest that you've seen. For some of us that have been at it a long time, we remember when they came in with this. So, it's here for you to look at. Take it to the house, think about it, think about what it's gonna be like. The firemen have to have a cul-de-sac big enough to get the fire truck turned around in, so Tommy has to look at that. Has to look at water supply, hydrant flows, the things that count, okay?
Does that go all the way to the railroad tracks, south?
South, yeah. They bought the old, place, the old, Becker place that's there with the house that is fading into oblivion, or the kudzu vines they did, I don't know which. I will tell you that one time the Becker family wanted us to build a dog park down there or build a fire station, and it was not where the ground wouldn't hold up a fire truck. And we had doubts that it would hold up a fire station, cause there's wet like you wouldn't believe it in there.
That's why I was asking, along that railroad track, that water just sits in there already, and if they, looks like all their water's draining to those railroad tracks,
It's
so.
going down that ditch, there's an east-west ditch before you get to the tracks.
Mhm.
But it is in that corner, and that is, you've got to have light loads, you can't have anything heavy in there. And then, the next thing we've got for you all,
Ebbing 82.
young man sitting back here, Mr. Aldridge, will have some copies of drawings for you to look at. And this is the layout for Phase 3 of Ebbing 82, and this place was all zoned. And at the very start, we want to look at what they have for the concepts and how the drawings go and how the traffic flows. And Bobby, if you want to let them.
Yeah, I apologize, my plotter crashed on me in the middle of printing this afternoon. So I've got 2 full sets of plans for the city to keep and do their review process. We're in the same boat as the other subdivision you just talked about. We have our plans down at the health department being reviewed for water and sewer as well.
You want to take one?
Y'all have already seen this before. This is Phase 3 of Ebbing 82, which is a cul-de-sac street and a partial through street that will eventually come all the way through. I believe there's 35 lots, roughly 35 duplex lots. These are all to be duplexes. And we just wanted to provide this as an update. We do have our stormwater pollution prevention plan. This drawing here would probably be the best overall drawing. The greenhouse that sits off of the Moody Road, that is being gutted and remodeled, the original green colored house that sits there, that is in this location right here at this lot. So we will have a future street that goes all the way through, which y'all have already approved this with street right of way, and tying into Moody Road. There'll be future roads that are in this pink magenta hatch. This in the green is what is part of Phase 3. It will be an extension out of Phase 2, which the Phase 2 is complete, and we have started selling lots. I believe that there are 73 lots in that phase, and we've already sold 5, and we have another about 30 wanting us to get some resolution on a replat that I have up here as well. So this is the second set of plans, and Steve, I owe you a third set of plans that I will get to you tomorrow.
You want to send these down to me?
Yeah.
The thing, the most important thing for y'all to look at
Look at them, I'm up here every day.
when you're thinking about this, there are, first off, the phases, and the second is the drainage, and you'll look and there'll be places where there is collection and holding ponds to keep from drowning the neighbors. If you've been over on Moody Road, you have seen why you need the pond. There is a stock tank, a deal from the days of Agriculture Department building stock ponds that's here that is shown in the, where the red lettering is, and that pond is gonna go.
This is the greenhouse.
But it's there now, and if you wade out into it, you probably would be up to your hocks in mud.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know.
It doesn't do a whole lot.
Huh?
It doesn't do a whole lot.
Doesn't do a whole lot.
It goes out the.
It just runs across, so that's why that pond is.
There is an existing pond.
Will be
there.
removed. But you can see how you look at that and you see the size of the detention ponds.
We've spoken to a lady that lives in the second house here, and she had some concerns about some drainage, and we told her what we were getting ready to do, and she said, "Hurry up, please."
How
She was
soon?
fine with all of it, she just wants us to hurry up. That's what we're here
I
today for.
remember, yeah, she was.
We've got silt fence that just recently been erected. We have the first construction entrance coming in off of Yellowstone Drive. It's been built, and we're gonna start clearing and building the detention ponds first. And then shortly thereafter, we'll build the roads, the water, the sewer, the drainage, and everything that goes along with that.
Is that what that track hole was in there doing today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Run right along the back of their fences.
I think this is coming.
The house that you're talking about belonged to Miss Hofsommer, who died, and it was sold. This is the lady that had the fish in her yard every time it come a good rain, and the minnows were going cross country and on both sides of the house. And so, yeah, I know, that's why she said, "When can you start?" The new owner is,
We've got our fire hydrant spacing per the health department regulations pending Tommy's review. Our sewer, our water, everything is, like I said, it's been submitted to the health department. If we need to change something up, to accommodate.
That's exactly
what the fire
what's gonna
department
happen.
needs.
This wasn't working anyway. So that's gonna go away.
Anybody got any questions for him? Nope.
We do not have the drawing ready today, but this is a replat of phase 2 that we're gonna come to you guys, or actually, what I would prefer to do is it is a replat of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots. Actually 8 lots.
Gonna be moved back closer
We
to the
need
street?
Well, currently, we have it shown, and it has already been approved and platted. And we have it shown where this black line is, and it created some no man's land in his backyard, in Justin's backyard, over here, that we wanted to get rid of. So we wanted to deepen these lots along Wagner Lane and pull this lot line back. And so it doesn't impact anybody's property other than the developer's property. And it lets us move this utility easement from here back approximately 25 feet to give them, to make these lots a little bit deeper.
Okay, so we'll have that at the next meeting then, right?
Well, I would prefer that you, if you have to take official action on it, which I don't think that you do for a replat like this, but if you do, I would prefer that you go ahead and do that today or tonight, and then we will get you a copy of the drawing early, sometime this week, so that you can get the planning commissioner chairperson, your signature on it, the city clerk's signature on it, so that we can file the replat, because we have sold 6 of these 8 lots. Those contractors are arguing over them right now, but we don't want to sell them until we have the plat filed, so that we don't have
Right.
to go about getting extra signatures and so forth. So
Okay.
I say that they're sold, they have been spoken for, but they have not closed yet.
Good deal. Alrighty. We won't have to vote or anything on that one, we just need to, okay, we can just review that and
Because it's
take
not,
care of that.
basically, it's all.
It's already done.
Zoning is done, it's
Okay.
it's like the ones that we had to adjust out on the FCRA property out there where there was some oddball stuff that came up. Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Alright,
I'm gonna tell y'all about some heads up, and here it comes.
new business.
The boring crew from Mickle was over for Jaegers this week. They had 12 locations out in the triangle, and they drilled and took soil samples, and I did not get to talk to them and find out how far it was till they hit the top of hard rock, but I suspect it maybe wasn't over 4 or 5 feet. And the drawings that I have seen, the sketches, it's about 25,000 square feet under the roof for both the lumber yard and the hardware. And the hardware is about 23,000 something. And there's about 2,000 square feet on the east side, and it is for the garden center. It has the drawings come off paving. It will be a circulation all the way around, and it'll be a drive-through in the lumberyard side where a pickup can go through in the initial concept, and they can load you in the dry, which will be a plus to a lot of folks. The garden center is on the downhill side, which helps from a drainage standpoint. They have yet to get with Katsavis, they are, I know, talking about how they will handle. But this, there is a retention pond to be built on this side as well, because when you turn 25,000 square feet, which is, 60% of an acre, and you have it under roof, the rainfall's got to go somewhere and has to be caught. You can't dump it on top of the neighbors, and that's why the ordinance is the way it is for our subdivisions. The next thing, I guess, that I need to go over with you is the work down here on the 825,000 square foot warehouse. They are due to run the fiber optic down 22 highways right away to tie both the National Guard stoplight, or traffic light, if you will, the traffic light for what used to be the old main gate, 4th Avenue, or now called Mahogany, for the tractor trailer rigs that will be coming out. And they're going to interlock that with the traffic light at 59 and 22. And 59 and 22 is to be video control, much like Strozier Lane, and 22 on the west side of town. And I don't know what the exact schedule is, but I do know that they told me that they sent a warning that they're going to start boring that and placing the fiber optic in to handle that. The traffic signal at the main gate will be interlocked also with the railroad. They mostly shuffle and store cars, but they're, I don't want to see somebody picked off. Right now, probably we're looking at the end of 2024 if the weather cooperates. When you have 800,000 square foot of warehouse and 25,000 in office space, it's going to be a big deal. The other thing is, I will tell you that they sold the land to the south of this 60 acres they bought, and it's the last 20, and Brooks Norris has talking about building a materials warehouse there, and whether it's going to be wholesale or retail, we don't really know. I suspect it may be to support his whole program. The other thing, you've seen the dirt work going on the Ken Bowen Ranch up there and what all's going on with that. I can't tell you a whole lot about it because they're hauling for all they're worth. And, if you haven't been over to see the concrete work, they started the slabs over on the triangle over here, and finally they started the culverts and the storm drains going down the side of Frontier Road for the highway relocation. Is there anything else that we had?
How are we on the, splash pad?
Splash pad concretes.
I was out there today, they've got half of the center to go yet. They've got all this ring around it done, and the half of the center's been poured, and it's all been stained blue concrete.
Getting closer.
Cutting,
It'd stop raining, we'd be done by now.
Cutting the, I guess it's called crack joints or whatever it is, you know.
We have they also have cleaned out the wood chips out of the playground for the kids. They're gonna get the new compressed rubber out there so that, and.
They're gonna be able to move that one little spot, they're gonna try to move that one to the front?
Yeah.
Okay, the entrance for the
So, yeah.
disabled.
The other thing, I guess, when you get that pad in, we'll have to have a sidewalk down to the pad from the parking of the handicap space will have to be paved. But if you haven't been out there and seen the little maintenance building, it's done, and we've got to get the power over there to it. It'll have a battery charger, and it'll have some other stuff there that we need to support. The other is, Wayne, have the surveyors been up again up at
Yes. And so we met today at about 1:30. Got a little drainage situation we gotta deal with before we decide to move forward with that.
drawings are,
We got the final drawings completed. We got those today. We're just gonna address some drainage issues, and then we're gonna be on our way.
so by fall, we hope to have the track in place.
Trust being there. Trust being there. You know, we had that topo done, and that's, I mean, we're sitting on a rock. So anything you gotta do for drainage is gonna take, I mean, put down, it's just solid rock, so.
Yep.
We're working on that. But yeah, everything's gonna move along pretty good.
All right. Anybody have anything? Nothing? Going once? Going twice? No, sir.
Make a motion to
I second.
adjourn.
We got a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Man, I can't talk today. Yeah. Folks, have a great day.
This is first key.